Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and as you can see I'm doing a 3x8 insert here. This is for my Chicago album, so all of the layouts are either 3x8 or 4x8. And for this one I actually have a page protector that has a little pocket up top. My plan is to put sequins in there, so I do have my handy dandy fuse tool here. It's heating up, it's not ready yet. If you've never used one, they take about 15 to 20 minutes to heat up to get a really good seal. So I've started that so that when I am ready to do the sequins, I'm not waiting around for that heat to kick in. For this layout, I'm really hoping it goes quickly because I do have to pick out the sequins. But other than that, all I have is this ticket for the 4D show that we saw, and my plan is just to do this with some kind of a background. And then on the other side, I just have this one large photo. Clearly I have some dead space here, so I'm planning to do something there. I just don't know what that is. So that's what I'm starting with. I will pull out my bin of stuff that I have ready for Chicago, and then I'm going to have to pull out my sequins to pick some colors that match. And I do know, I think I have some sequins left that are little sort of white / clear iridescent seashells. And when I think of those, I think mainly the ocean, but I think it might be okay here because I do have some white happening. I also have this shiny silver. I think it might look good to mix those in with some of these other colors. So I think I'm going to dig around, see if I still have those, and then I'll go from there. I've pulled out my sequins here that I think I want to use, and I was able to find these. I love them because depending on how the lights hit them, they either look kind of a see-through white or they look silver. So I think that will go really well with what's happening on the ticket. Plus then I can mix in colors that match with the other photo. So I definitely want to use those. I will mix those in. But then I also want to pull out some yellow. I don't know if I have like a neon yellow, but I know I have regular yellow. So I can do that. Maybe some lighter green for this, and then some type of brighter blue. I think if I mix all that with the shells, it'll look really nice. I've chosen a couple more options here. I had actually looked at this yellow and white option first, and I feel like it's too bright. It's not quite right with these. It's definitely not this. This is almost like a neon yellow green. A little bit better here, but I still wasn't totally satisfied with that, so I'm not going to use that one. But I like this one. It's more of almost like a banana color yellow, and it's just a grooved disc design, and I feel like that maybe is slightly better than the other ones. It's still not perfect to this, but I think I have a solution for that. I looked at these greens, they're way too dark. Those would not be an option. But this one, I like. The only thing is, it does have some sequins in there that look like leaves. But I thought, well, there are, kind of seaweedy things, leafy plants happening here that maybe I can get away with that. And I just think the color is such a better mix to what's happening in this photo than the other options I have. So I do think I'm going to put some of those in there. There we go. And we'll just mix that up. I do think those look good together. So if I do that and then add in some of the lighter yellow, let's try it. I have a little scooper. Do you think I can remember what I did with it? Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. I found it. That'll help me mix it up a little bit better. So I'm liking the way that looks, but I do definitely need some of the blue in there. So that is my next task. I was having trouble finding a blue that I liked. I pulled these out. This was almost a bluish purple, and I thought about that because there is a little bit of a purple tint, but I wasn't really sold on any of these. They just weren't quite the right mix. This is a little too turquoise aqua for what I have. So then I thought, well, I'm going to go into my specialty ones and see if I have anything that would be acceptable. I think this one actually might work. There are these pink butterflies mixed in, but when you take those out, I think the colors in here are a better match. So I'm actually going to just dump them out right here, just that section, and maybe pick out what I want. Because look at how nicely that blue goes. You can see here there is a little bit more of a purplish tint on that side. But I think if I pull these out, and even some of the silver would be okay, then I can add in an embellishment that maybe is a little more purpley or not. I mean, maybe the yellow, green, white, and silver mix is going to be enough for this. But I think I like this color the best, so I'm going to have to dig through and pick out the sequins that I want. And sometimes that happens, and it's just needed sometimes to make my own mix. Is it piddly? Yes. But I'm willing to do it to get the colors and the mix that I want. Here we go with the blue pieces mixed in, and I think that is definitely the right mix there. Didn't need a bunch, just some to add it in, and I think that's going to be the winner. So I'm going to put that aside, let the fuse heat up a little bit more, but at least now I have my mix ready. So let's do this so I don't spill it and lose it. I will clean up this, and then I can start figuring out what I'm going to do for a background behind the ticket. When I went into my green scraps, I found two pieces of paper that I think would match well with these. One of these is quite bold. One is just a solid color. I like them both. This is the piece I found that has the wild pattern. It's a very bold. It's a lot happening with this, but I feel like maybe if I matted this on a thin white border, it would be okay. It's definitely the right color scheme, but it is very, very busy. The other option is much more tame. It's just this, and this is almost a perfect 3x8 already. I'd have to trim off very, very little to get it to fit in there. It's a very good match. It's a lot more subtle, and I'm wondering if that's the better way to go because I already have this happening. I'm really tempted to use this because I like the bright colors, but I think it may be too much. You know what? When I'm seeing it all together, I guess maybe it is too much, which makes me a little sad. Maybe I'll be able to find a use for this eventually. But I guess for now, I'll go with just this one. I still may mat it in white. I'm not sure, but at least it's a more subtle background. So I've attached this, and I left room at the top here so I could add some kind of an embellishment. And I realized I think I said 3x8 before. The whole thing is 3x8, but this section is only 3x6. So I cut this down to fit it. I had to trim off just a little on both sides to get it to be 3x6, but now it's ready. And then I pulled out these stickers I have, and I actually found these at the dollar store. And I love them, that they're 3D. They're very childlike, but I like them. And for this, like, I'm thinking about maybe this guy to bring in some of that neon green. This one would also be a good match because of the colors. So I'm sure it'll be one of these two that end up on here. But I have them. I figured, you know, I paid $1. They're so cheap. I might as well use them. So I have those. Still not sure what I'm going to do over here. I could use both of these, put one here, or I could add something else because I do have my envelopes of stuff still to use. These obviously are not aquarium themed, but I'm sure there's some kind of generic phrase on there that would be suitable. But I'm going to start with the fish and then just see what I think. For this side, I decided to go with the fish that was a little bit more yellow. I felt like he was a good match there. But then over here, I've changed my mind. I thought I was going to use this one. It feels like too much green. It's too close to this. So I think I'm actually going to go with this guy to bring in a little yellow, but more of the blue. And he can be right down here in this dead space. Should he go like this or like this? Maybe swimming kind of like that. And I could still maybe add something over here too. What do I have? Not really anything on here. This would be better for the bottom. This is not the right color. Okay, so I won't use those. But I may find something else for this. But while I'm thinking about it, that tool should be hot enough to do the sequins. So I'm going to do those next. And then I'll make my final decision about this side. I have all the sequins there. So I'm ready to seal it up here. I'm just going to go fairly close to the top there, as close as I want it, and then run this across. And it looks like it was hot enough because it appears I have a good seal. But let's check. The test is always to do this. Yep, nothing falling out. So that is a good seal. And then that's this side. This is the other side. I like how it looks on both of them. Oh, I got a stray one in here. There we go. And now I can figure out what's left for the back side. In this envelope of stuff, I found this little piece that just says here and now. It's in a great color that will match the sequins that I picked. So I'm going to attach that, and then it'll go in the page protector. Okay, everything is put together here, so I'll do a close-up so you can see the sequin mix, which I love. The fish with the ticket. I do think this background was the way to go because there's a lot happening here. And then on this side, one little phrase and this guy, and I think that's enough. So here's another one done for Chicago. Thanks for watching.